great Wheatfield employee.
Yeah, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. So Thursday, I will reach out to you. The 9th? Yeah, good.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Okay. Very good.
Sounds good.
Very good.
Enjoy the meeting, guys.
Should be short.
Should be
Not
short.
much in the resolutions, right?
Yeah.
So.
What's that?
PR for your new sign. They do need to pump this town more than that, I would agree. They're really bad about that.
Yeah. Well, they would just have the tribute on there, take that to the order.
She called me a couple times. She figured it out. We didn't. Yeah, she had. Sure, she let you know. A couple weeks now. Leading up to that. Like little thing goes up there. And then it had forgotten that you guys had done that, and I was going to say, figure it out. It just caught my eye.
Yeah. Thought about that.
Because the last meeting that you had, where you ordered it or something.
Yeah, I told her it'd be like 10 days,
Yeah.
2 weeks.
They were just here and I saw them. So I went outside and they were doing.
I avoid the double bar every time.
Yeah.
So they said they were just videotaping, real filming, various spectrums.
I need to bring reports on it.
No, I'm just gonna say we had a grand opening.
Do what?
Just say we had a grand opening. Yeah, I mean,
You want to get out here?
well, some.
Yeah. Well, there's always that.
Somebody's probably gonna ask you. I don't know if you could ask me.
Yeah.
You can try to steal it.
Yeah, I'm convinced maybe I can get a little more. Yeah, I did reach out to Zoomer. We got some emergency response plan deal. We gotta do every 5 years for water, just in case shit isn't there.
Mm-hmm.
So the one package we put in 19 days, the 93.
You gotta fill that out?
Yeah, so now that they add the new factor, cyber security. I'm going through it. I called Dan. You remember Dan?
I hold up
From,
my.
Danielle Faber.
Oh, yeah, I graduated with, he got lucky sisters.
Yeah, he had a sister too, yeah.
Where's Paula?
So he had,
He's got two sisters, right?
Y'all putting
I
signs
know
up?
he has one for sure. Another one too.
Hey,
No,
tell
maybe
Paul.
not. Yeah, I think it's just the one.
Paul coming?
I think so. I seen him earlier. He said he was coming. So, that's it.
I can.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
Going through these calls.
Like,
Dan's like, yeah, it's
Are
really
you gonna
nice.
read them? I could use it there.
I go, what's your order? This one's 19 pages, and this one's 93. So how can it be all the same questions answered?
You got that, you respond back
He wanted a thumbs up. Yeah. He responded back.
There's a little text.
Larry, he responded. I didn't give him a thumbs up, but I said, it sounds good. I said, it sounds good to me, it sounds like a thumbs up.
No, you know, it's like, for us, for me.
Yeah. He just wanted to know if the board in general thought these were a good project.
Everything changed from where she did. Perfect. Perfect timing. Oh, it does, fine.
Gentlemen, how you doing?
No, I'm gonna get a, yeah, there's something wrong, I don't know why. Try RWR.
So, you say we're going to,
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, love it. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, RWR. Yeah, that's why everybody has done it. Yeah, he told me that.
He's just calm.
Oh, Richard did.
But they have an older brother who's in North Carolina.
That's like not that anybody show up this morning. Oh, you there, but I didn't see anybody else. Playing the stuff.
Oh,
Inside or outside?
No, we're.
It actually did warm up fairly nice this afternoon, yeah.
just went home and I pulled out the pictures. He always like tried to be that firm guy. That's where he would kick our ass.
Hey, well, I want to give the update, Scott.
It's like a lifetime.
You get that every year? So what would be like?
Unless we watch locker room or myself, this doesn't go through, we're set up with myself.
The more I'm thinking about it.
So I have to. Like that with Johnny Cash.
You know, it's not fair.
And I've got it before. I've stayed in it before, and that's it.
Oh.
Weird. Younger. That's what they do.
Right. No, it's easy. That's what I told my uncle when I was saying,
How long you stay with the kids there?
let me give it the oldest one. He was older than my dad.
Hour.
So,
Good.
good, how are you? That's fine. What the heck?
We're on the fire last night, Ron, I already called this man, I already called.
What project do they want to do? He's got to sign it.
A good financial decision there.
Because he told me that I didn't know what I was talking about. This is my second bridge, so.
It's the 115?
Our 5% share. No, wow.
I've been told. So 4 days, we were constantly going
Yeah, no, we do that. Actually, we use it on different jobs. Where do you think it's from? No, I mean, I just kept holding chunks and use it on jobs. Most of the charges nowadays, where you put over charges, we have all that kind of like, shot. I had to wind up on our concrete, take it off in front. Yeah, maybe we should get rid of it. I went back to take it because they didn't want to get all my shit. We would have taken it when we needed concrete. We don't need it now. We'll take it, but we're gonna charge it for it.
You and I would take it, but you're gonna rack them on. Put that gate on that far side.
Either side, yeah. Yeah, the slide open one.
I'll set my feet around and rectify the bottom.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Did you guys understand that about the salters? About buying others from the salters?
Yeah, they're trying to fix this.
Well, I mean, we did fix it years ago. You know, a lot of them, you couldn't get them for 60 days. Just like this much with the water. We were screwed. Now, I'm 7, 8 years old. So I have 2 different sides. I want one of each side. We got it there. That way, if something breaks, we can throw one in right away and then we'll order another one so we have it to replace instead of paying all that money.
Larry said okay, but he said which one? I said okay.
It's this year's budget, because I got money left in that shop account.
You're gonna spend every penny.
I don't every year, Larry, I always turn money, Randy, I turn money in every year.
Chemistry is key.
Well, my mechanic is short time, done in January, I'm trying to make sure that we're set up, so whoever takes
Yeah,
the
you
job
said
over
it's
is
wrong,
screwed,
Pete.
you know?
You know, I got a guy,
Doomed from day one.
at my Blue Rock Roofing, Moriel, I'm gonna try him a little bit with my heavy duty, I know you want to go to Reach.
Yeah.
He used to work at Buffalo Fuel, it's got a, MK Auto.
Okay.
We got both, he's got all the computers for taxes and all.
I mean, you can't always get to it. I mean, sometimes my truck sits there for a little bit. But, I mean, so far they've been good.
Well, I'm gonna, like I said, I got a guy that comes to my shop.
Right.
I can't, he used to work at Buffalo Fuel too, but you know this guy was over there by Blue Rock in that building.
Yeah.
MK Auto, his name's Nick Moriel.
Well, it's close for you.
Yeah. But it's closer when it comes to me.
Well, yeah. You got a nice building working there too.
He's actually got a tractor in there, putting one.
Hello, Blue.
Or a fender guard. All right, I'll try to get that over tomorrow.
Okay.
The one broke off, and the concrete, and then the other one's still figuring them out. You just gotta, it's cut off.
Yeah, that's not a big deal.
All right.
Never really thought about it. I'll just drive over and decide on it. One of the guys
Do you have the notice?
Yeah.
You read it when it's signed?
I believe it.
Oh, yeah.
You did. Come on. Probably hit like 2 weeks. Not even? Because you flip them, and then flip them and then replace them. Yeah, so these two.
Welcome, folks. We have a public hearing tonight over our budget. Kathy, if you would read the public hearing notice.
Notice is hereby given that the 2024 preliminary budget of the town of Wheatfield for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2024 has been completed and filed in the office of the town clerk, 2800 Church Road, North Tonawanda, New York, where it is available for inspection by any interested person at all reasonable hours. Further notice is hereby given that the town board of the town of Wheatfield will meet and review said preliminary budget and hold public hearings thereon at Wheatfield Town Hall, 2800 Church Road, North Tonawanda, New York, at 7 p.m. on Monday, November 6, 2023, and at such hearing, any person may be heard in favor of or against the preliminary budget. Any items contained therein pursuant to Article 8, Section 113 of the town law, the proposed salaries of the town officers are hereby specified as follows. The salaries by order of the town board of the town of Wheatfield, and it's published on October 20th.
As well as the budget has been available here at the town hall and on our website. And I have a statement I'd like to read. Although there are still concerns about the high inflation rate that the country is currently facing, I'm pleased to report that the town of Wheatfield will be providing the same services that the town has provided in the past. However, because of our costs of providing these services are increasing, the 2024 preliminary budget does include a slight property tax increase of $19.06 from $543.26 in '23 to $562.32 in 2024. For a typical homeowner in the town of Wheatfield with an assessed value of $125,000 or a market value of $312,000, this will be a 3.51 increase. Primarily due to the increase in fire protection and garbage pickup and recycling. The cost of garbage pickup and recycling have increased by over $396,000 since 2019. The total budget appropriation for 2024 has been increased by slightly over $859,000, and estimated revenues have increased by slightly over $452,000. The total tax levy for 2024 is increasing $157,756 from $4,023,110 to $4,180,866, a 3.92, which is less than the town's property tax cap of 4.3. I know that's a lot, it's going to be coming out very quickly, but if anybody has any comments or questions? Anyone? Motion to close the public hearing?
Second.
Second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Public hearing is closed. Thank you. We'll go right into our pledge of allegiance and opening up our regular meeting. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Father, we pray that you grant wisdom to all who are in authority, that order and justice may be upheld for the benefit of all citizens, and guide us to better serve the people of our community, restrain those who seek to destroy our government. We ask for divine wisdom to rest upon our leaders to guide them and protect them. Amen.
For the record, all board members are present. Can you guys hear me back there?
They could go up a little bit, but I'm hard of hearing.
Turn it on, Mr. Harold.
moved.
Second.
And a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes are approved. Approval of bill payment of November sixth, 2023, voucher number 2023-1555 through 2023-1918, with a total amount of $327,944.58. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second, please.
Second.
And a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried, bills are paid. Highway Department, Paul Sigmund.
Got a little letter for you guys. I was told that Zuber wasn't gonna be here, so I had time to talk today, but I didn't know. I'd like to read this to you guys and ask for your support. I mean, basically what it says is, Town Wheatfield Board, it has been brought to my attention, a Town of Niagara project, FIFI, or Amazon, is looking to add the traffic flow change to their proposed warehouse site at the intersection of Lockport Road and Walmore Road. They are seeking to add an additional lanes and signals at the intersection. The county has advised they do not maintain signals anywhere in the county, so the responsibility would be the Town of Wheatfield. I have expressed to all parties that we will only maintain what we have originally put in place. We do not have a pilot agreement or host community status to allow us to be reimbursed for any additional expenses incurred by the town due to these changes. I'm asking the board to go on record stating the town will not maintain the additional signal, lights, lanes, and striping being proposed. These roads, both county roads, therefore, the county should take responsibility for this intersection, including the signals. Niagara County, as a growing county, is experiencing extra traffic, and the county needs to be held accountable. I am asking the board to send a letter to the county as well as Amazon stating we will not be responsible for this project, as it could cost our town hundreds of thousands of dollars to maintain and update as needed. Sincerely, Paul Sigmund, Town Wheatfield Highway Superintendent.
Oh, look at that, Brian. And I read the letter this afternoon, thank you. I also copied Matt. I think you're right, I think we all agree with you. But how did we get this signal to 7 hours? Why are we responsible? Something occurred for us, right?
I believe it was between Art Cronin and possibly Tim Denver at the time, that they felt that it was needed because of the traffic coming off of Walmore Road out onto Lockport Road. It is a tough intersection. But, I guess my point is, the county does not want to maintain any signals within the county. I mean, they want the county to grow, they want projects like this, but they don't want to take on that added responsibility. I mean, they already have their own individual sign shop with employees that probably could take the job over, but they're just flat out saying they're not maintaining any of it.
Part of the reasons I think the town maybe did is I think our Cronin came upon some supplies of telephone poles.
We got used stuff from
Yeah, our
county
Cronin
deals
got a
or
bunch of
state
used
deals.
equipment, so the equipment part of it, installation was pretty reasonable, or nothing.
Actually, it was free.
It was, but, we're trying to get up with it. That's why the town did it, because I think our, it's been one of that was kind of big cost.
Well,
Now it is, because
So they just did that, they redid that intersection a year and a half ago.
yes,
There's a new light there, who paid for that one?
the county had grant money for that, so they did put a new light in there.
But it's the county's light, not our light.
No, it's ours.
They put it in, but we give it.
the maintenance is our
Yeah,
responsibility.
they're really nice that they gave it to us. They did the same thing down at the other one in Lockport, Walmart. They put a new light in when they redid the intersection and then gave us the light. And like I said, I mean, there isn't, I've been lucky, I work in North Tonawanda, so I haven't had to call anybody out. Before, when we called the guy out, it was anywhere from $800 to $1,500 every time you come out to work on them lights. We really don't have anybody trained to do it. I mean, we know the minimums, but when it gets textual, we have to get somebody else out here. It's just, like I said, and if you gotta replace all the arms and all that stuff, Randy probably knows, you're talking probably $300,000 to $400,000 to replace arms, control boxes, the lights and all that. It's not a cheap. I know when they did one Walmart, they said it was $250,000 just for that. But I think the county had gotten grant money for that construction. So, like I said, I appreciate any support you give me on this. The girl was contacting me, and when I basically told her that you want no part of it, she quit talking to me. So.
And again, I did look over your letter today with Matt, there's a couple things we would tweak.
Yeah.
To make it not more simple, a little bit simpler. And, I'd like to make a resolution that we, town of Wheatfield, supports all, but also the fact that, we don't want to assume responsibility for maintenance, repairs, et cetera, of the proposed intersection. We'll fix it, we'll let our, can I have a second to that? I'll second your motion. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed? We'll get a letter off sometime next week.
Okay, and the only other thing I have is, tell your neighbors and all that stuff to put leaves out. Do not pile your leaves around their mailbox, do not pile them around telephone poles. You can't get our machine in there to suck the leaves out. I mean, my guys bring rakes, and they do rake quite a bit, but I don't, for some reason, everybody likes to stack them around their mailboxes, and then they end up knocking the mailbox over with a big snorkel on the vacuum. So, when you see your neighbors putting them out, if you happen to see them putting them out by the mailbox, tell them, keep them away from the mailbox and the telephone pole. We do have all of our trucks, I know you don't want to hear this, we do have all of our trucks suited up now, they're ready for plowing. I know it doesn't seem like they had 50 degrees outside, but you know what, next week will be 20 and snow. Last year we had snow. Next week, we had
A
snow.
lot of snow for opening day in Jersey.
Yes, so, we are at that point.
Relates to your season.
Oh, yeah. That'll be a national holiday.
I agree. That's all I got, unless you guys have any questions for me. All right.
Hey, Paul, when you, I'm sure you have the right address or who I would notify with this letter, you would give me that information.
Okay.
Mark Clark, Water Sewer.
I have no report tonight, unless you guys have questions for me.
Ready for Mark tonight?
Great job on the logo.
Thank you. I want to thank Polly Sigmund for letting us use his bucket truck on that too, to give that Jack who lead it, Skippy. Much appreciated.
It's nice when everybody works together.
Sure is.
Even at the park, everybody chipped in and did a great job. Thank you. Thank you, Mark. Mike Ronaldo, Recreation Director.
Hello. Saturday, we had our official grand opening at our new inclusive playground. It was a big day for the town of Wheatfield. I want to thank this board for making that happen. And I'm serious, like, you dedicated that ARPA funds for it. Very, very important that we got that secured. And I hope you guys are proud of the playground that we put in over at Fairmount Park, because you guys put on a good presentation that day, so I want to thank everyone that was able to make it. It was just a monumentous afternoon or morning for the town of Wheatfield. And it was raining a little bit before we got started, but as soon as we got kicked off, calls rolled out, and it was actually a nice afternoon for November. So, I'm sure, Kurt, you have some things that you may want to mention, maybe about a name or something in your report, so I'll kind of be a little more graceful with that kind of stuff than I am, so I'll leave that for you, but I just wanted to, say we had such a great event, and we're very happy that it happened.
I went by there yesterday just to see if there was anybody in the playground.
There was. It's gonna get a lot of action.
I'm very proud of everybody that was there.
Well, while we're on the topic, I don't think I've mentioned, well, I couldn't have mentioned it here, we just named it this weekend. Unity Inclusive Playground at Fairmount is the name of it. We awarded 2 residents that submitted that name, Unity, the event, and we love it, can't wait to get a sign and add that to the site. Thanks, Mike.
Mike Clark. Mike, do we have that letter from you on the list?
They didn't bring it with me, no. I'm gonna tell you about it. So last week, I did meet with the crew from the, both the demolition team, which is RED, and American Glass did all the glazing work, and set up a walkthrough with them. And at the time, we were still not at our final draw state, and they agreed to wait till then. So we did walk through, did find a couple of places that we needed to correct a little bit of miscellaneous things, caulking, some shims, etc. They came right out at the next day. It was wrapped up on a Friday afternoon, right before the power went out. It was awesome. And so there is a part of the bill pay is will be one of the frosts, their last draw. But we still do have a residual left of $90,000 that we won't pay until next, to make sure that everything else is done. And when I walked through again this morning, I'm very happy with the product. I hope everybody is too. I think the back entrance into the building department looks awesome. They did a great job there. Even fixed the one window that was falling out of there that during that collapse or settling. Looks awesome back there. And they were very proactive on any of the issues we had or complaints, and they took care of it. They did a good job. So I personally say that we should approve that bill and pay the balance of it.
Yeah, the only thing I would like, Mike, is just that.
You want something in writing?
One or two
Yep.
paragraphs that you did inspect with them. I saw you walking through the building. Just something for our record saying that it was inspected.
Absolutely.
So I have no problem paying them, but just if we get us a letter saying you went through and inspected.
Yeah.
You recommend it.
I will do that. And then Don asked me earlier in the day what was happening with Parco. Looks like our concrete floor is supposed to be poured at the end of the week. They're talking 9th or 10th, to set up stones, et cetera, and pour the floor. So there's the update there. I think what else is going on with that. There's a motion that I have in the package tonight to request that we increase the fee schedule that we have for the licensing of our plumbers, sewer contractors, and our electricians. We haven't had that increased since like 2014, I think it is. So we'd like to move it up to where most everybody else is paying, about a buck. It's $150 instead of $125. This normally would wait until I present the rest of our proposal, but we send out renewal notices now, and so we'd like to get that out in front of them before it gets too late. And other than that, one other thing. Today, this week, or I should say Friday, we received our 50th residential new home starts. First time we hit 50 homes in the town since 2004. So, not too shabby. 50. We're at 50. We'll probably go up from there, because I think there's still another half dozen coming out of Whistling Straits. The Valley's still putting stuff up too, so we saw in I think it was 2004, 2005, we had 52. So we're gonna shatter that record. So kind of cool. Yeah, maybe.
Mike, can we get the drainage straightened out on Whitman Road? I see there's a house being roughed over there and two basements.
I'm gonna let that to the town's engineer.
We're gonna hold the permits until they get it straightened out.
Actually, Bill Youngman was taking charge of that, and talked to him recently. But I went through all the things that we identified from doing the survey that line.
I thought we had said at one of the meetings passed a motion, we were gonna hold the building permits until it was straightened out.
Those permits were issued before that.
I think that was Whistling Straits you were talking about.
Oh, yeah, this is Whitmer Road.
This is Whitmer Road right here behind the community center.
We haven't issued any really new permits in the last probably 60 days over there. Yeah, but they started, the foundations are in the ground. One of those foundations also included a special part of our drainage, which is between two of the parcels. Lots, I don't remember the lot number specific, but that's also in place now. So these are being followed by, again, our stormwater manager, which is Bill Youngman. So he would handle that part of it with coordinating with Tim. So we're on it. Welcome.
I don't really have anything prepared. I guess we did send out the agent exemptions, and they're due in our office March first, gives the, the seniors, plenty of time to get their information together and get back into the office for us. The Niagara Wheatfield School District did pass the income limit for the aged exemption, so that is there, but I have to call them back because they did not raise the income limits for the disability with limited income, which they usually run hand in hand, so they only did it for the senior with limited income and not the disabled with limited income. Niagara Wheatfield passed the income limits for the aged, which is the seniors with limited income exemption that we had talked about, but I did at that time mention that the county and the state raised the income limits for the seniors with limited income and the disabled with limited income. There's only about 10 or 12 in the whole town that receive this exemption, but they did not raise those limits, and if they don't raise those limits by March 1st, there will be no disabled with limited income, so.
They did approve the senior.
They did.
Not the disabled. I wonder what they were.
It seems like in the minutes that I read and everything that they did not even bring it up, so I think that they may have missed that in our conversation with them.
I think when we had that conversation with them, we never talked about the disabled.
I did say both, it runs hand in hand, yes, the disabled and, because the county and the state raised the limits on both.
Do you want me to call,
Yes, please.
tomorrow?
Yes, please.
You may remind me tomorrow, and then you come on up and we'll call tomorrow.
Yes.
Because I think when we talked to Dan, we were thinking, and I was only thinking of seniors, not that I excluded the handicapped.
Right.
But I didn't realize that was also an issue.
Yeah, and when I sent the email from John Shoemaker and from me, I did state both of them, so I think it's just kind of miscommunication, but I would like them to pass that before March 1st. Okay.
They still have time to address it.
Before March 1st, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of it. Matter of fact, this is the first time I was aware of it.
There's only about 12 of them, but I did mention it, and it was in the email, so I double checked that and everything, so I just wanted to bring it to their attention before it's too late. I don't want those 12 in the town to lose their exemptions.
I'll apologize to Paul. It was a Thursday last week, we didn't have anything for our agenda, but we ended up putting a last minute proposal in on Friday. And it really has to do with, the required water supply emergency plan that the Niagara County Health Department, and the New York State Department of Health are requiring us to have in place. I believe we have versions of these that are in place, but every few years they require a bigger update. And this year they've come out with some new forms to use, and this water supply emergency plan has really three components to it. It's a vulnerability assessment, a cybersecurity assessment, and an emergency response plan. I believe the cybersecurity assessment is new, and I think Larry's been helping Mark out with that. But Mark did find the old plans that Richie, you just updated last summer, but unfortunately they haven't been updated to the new format, the new templates that they're requiring. And I think one of them went from 19 pages to like 93.
93, right.
So, so we wanted to help out. We're doing this for, I want to say 6 or 7 other communities in Niagara County too, so our water, wastewater engineers know what they're doing with this, so doing a quick proposal. We have that in motion for you this evening, a late motion in this.
I did talk to Mark, and comparing the old application to the new, like you said, how many pages?
I think the old one was 19 and this new one is like 93.
And Amy from the water department looked it over, didn't feel comfortable doing the application. And you know, something like this is important, it has to be done, right. So I think that's why Wendell Engineers is going to would like to help, and I think we should do it because it's become more complicated. And I guess Mark didn't feel comfortable either with them attempting it. So, unless we have Wendell Engineers.
And we did just just so you know, put this in as a time and expense instead of a lump sum. 'Cause I know some work has been done, we just have no idea to what degree it is, so hopefully, we can use a lot of that work that's already been done to speed us through the process and not need to use that full amount of our proposal.
Charge the other towns and punch base stuff.
Is this something we're gonna have to dust off every year, or is it like, do we have a sense of?
You know what, it's the first I've actually heard that these are there, I don't know.
I think it's every 5 years, these have to be updated.
So what is this like, so somebody doesn't come in and contaminate our water, is that what this is, or what?
Yeah, I mean, it's a vulnerability assessment that looks like lots of different factors, like what kind of security are there at, I don't know, pump stations and stuff like that. It's a little easier for us because our municipality doesn't have, you know, any water pumps or towers, get everything directly from the water district. But yeah, to detail they're just looking for ways to make sure we're secure. If there's anything we need to improve on, to have it documented. The cybersecurity stuff was way over my head, but you know, stuff you don't think of that they could go in and either shut down your security for the building or electronic access to the different components of the monitoring systems.
So if the Niagara County water system didn't work, we would be able to turn some valves and get it to the city of Niagara Falls, is that?
Yeah, we do have distribution lines that we could open up. I think it's 3 or 4 different points we get fed from other areas. North Tonawanda is one of them.
So part of this plan, you gotta list all your backups?
Yes, you do.
Larry, just so you know, the county's doing the same thing, and they also make a comment that it's a much more complicated application. Talk about security, cybersecurity, and everything else related to the system. So it's changed dramatically since it was that.
So that's all we have for you this evening. Just, you know, if you have any questions, if not, you have a motion in our packet. Rich?
Yeah.
First motion I received, packages from the Recreation Department, resolved to approve the request of Mike Rinaldi, Director of the Recreation Department, to hire Mira Keller for the lifeguard for the swimming program in Wheatfield Central School District starting in January. At a rate of pay and terms pursuant to the job specifications of said position, subject to Human Resource Department approval and a Niagara County criminal background check.
So moved.
Second. Second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next motion from the Budget Director. Whereas the Wheatfield Town Board on the 6th day of November 2023 did hold a public hearing on the 2024 preliminary budget. Notice thereof has been duly given pursuant to the provisions of section 108 of the town law. And whereas at said public hearing, the Wheatfield Town Board gave all persons present an opportunity to be heard. And whereas the Wheatfield Town Board was deemed it appropriate to accept the 2024 preliminary budget as presented. Now therefore be it resolved that the Wheatfield Town Board does hereby adopt the 2024 preliminary budget as presented. So moved. Second. Second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried, the budget has been adopted. And thank you, all your efforts. You're welcome. And the next motion, although it says it's from the Budget Director, that's a typo, it is from the Building Department. It's resolved to approve the request of Mike Clark, Building Inspector, to increase the annual fees for plumbers and electricians licensed in the town of Wheatfield from $125 to $150. So moved. Second. Motion and a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Next motion from the town supervisor and town attorney, resolved to authorize Town Swan, Wheatfield Town Supervisor, to execute the proposed grant agreement with the Niagara County Brownfield Development Corporation to work with the Development Corporation to administer the funds granted for the soil remediation due to metals contamination and pay other related necessary costs at the properties located at 2020 River Road, North Tonawanda, New York, Town of Wheatfield. Said grant agreement with the Niagara County Brownfield Development be affected by the property, funding the property, related to this project. If anybody's interested.
Starts at 6 o'clock, I think it ends at 7:30.
Next motion, late supplemental motion, is from the Firearms Permit Review Board, resolved to approve the firearm discharge permits and or renewals for the individuals as shown on the attached list. Motion, please.
So moved.
And a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Aye. Motion carries.
Abstain. Abstain.
Very good.
And here's some additional, motions as well, supplemental. Resolution calling for a public hearing for community development block grant application. Whereas the town board wishes to assess the advisability of submitting a community development block grant application to the New York State Office of Community Renewal for a grant to support the construction of a new facility for Schroeder Construction, Inc. at 6461 Walpole Road in the town. And whereas the town is required to hold a public hearing to provide information to the public and to consider citizens' comments regarding how the community needs a plan proposed prior to submitting an application for CGDD funding. And now therefore be it resolved, the town board does hereby call for a public hearing whereat all interested parties shall be heard regarding the CDBG program, the town's community development and economic development programs, the proposed funding application. Said public hearing will be held at the Wheatfield Town Hall, 2800 Church Road, Wheatfield, North Carolina, New York, 14120, at and at the time to be determined, on the 20th of November, 2024. We do have two years. They are separate resolutions, but yes, there are two, so we need to space the time.
Do you want to do this one at 6:50? Make a motion at 6:50 for quote?
Second. And all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Just one question, you sent an email out asking, I think, to Chuck Bell,
Yes.
who was gonna present that public hearing, is he the one presenting it?
It probably will be. I don't think he responded to that yet, but I will be on and make sure him or someone else comes from the, community development.
And I'm sure Chuck will tell both applicants that they're, Solver and Del Pound and the next one, they'll probably have somebody here that night too.
I would assume, yeah, they would prepare, the applicant and, Chuck to do some sort of presentation.
So you're gonna make sure it's on the web list and all that?
Yes, I will tell them at the time and date.
Somebody to represent?
Yeah.
One last question. We're only allowed 2 of these types of grants with the LBC at a time back then. That's what I was told a few years ago. I think that's still the same. Is that correct?
I remember being brought up a couple times, two applications.
Okay. Thank you.
Your comment was one last question, so that's a good one.
On this subject.
Try it. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And there's the other resolution for the, program. Whereas the town board wishes to assess the advisability of submitting a community development block grant application to the New York State Office of Community Renewal for a grant to support the construction of a new facility for Telecoms Marketplace on Everfall Boulevard in the town. And whereas the town is required to hold a public hearing to provide information to the public and to consider citizen comments regarding how community needs and the plan proposal prior to submitting an application for CDBG funding. Now therefore be it resolved, the town board hereby calls for a public hearing whereat all interested parties shall be heard regarding the CDBG program, the town's community development and economic development programs, and the proposed funding application. Such public hearing will be held at the Wheatfield Town Hall, 2800 Church Road, Wheatfield, North Carolina, New York, 14120, at a time to be determined on the 20th of November, 2023.
I'll make that motion for 6:55.
motion is second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
And then we have, the motion that Tim brought up from Wendell. Motion to authorize Wendell to provide assistance with the update from the town of Wheatfield vulnerability assessment, cybersecurity assessment, and emergency response plan in accordance with the proposal letter dated November 3rd, 2023, for a time expense estimated fee of $7,500.
So moved.
Will that be not to exceed 7,000?
Yes.
Second. Motion is second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
And that is it for the motion.
Okay. Board members.
Starting down to this end tonight?
I actually was gonna go that way, but very helpful. Thank you.
Two items. Last meeting, we talked about Verizon Pilots. I think they were in Verizon folks, a short dissertation on how they want support for bringing Pilots into Wheatfield. I met with them 2 weeks ago. They collected on, I think I had the number right, close to 3,000 signatures from different, city and town officials across New York State. They're presenting at Albany this week. So the ball's in their court. The supervisor gets one, and myself both signed letters of support. They can come forward with support of it. So we can bring it in competition to Verizon, not Verizon, but Spectrum. With Files, we have another internet broadband provider. Hopefully competition will bring prices down. So nothing more to report until Verizon maybe gets back to us, but we're not hold to that. Supposedly the federal government has lots of grant money that they're trying to spread across the country to bring more broadband options and services. That's all I have. That's all I have.
Anybody have reserves for this?
Adams Fire Hall has, two new members, William Holcomb and Ryan Flickenstein, that they'd like to add to the roster. And they'd also like to change the status of Michael Smolin and Todd William from exempt to active. And I'll make that motion.
Motion, second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
And that's it.
Thank you. Productive.
Wheatfield Enhancement Volunteers meeting on Tuesday, the 14th of November, at 6:30 at the Community Center. See you there.
Anything else?
That's it.
Thanks, Randy Russell.
I'm not.
Thank you, Randy. I just got a couple, like one following under here, this was on my desk last week, a letter related to, Center Street in Wheatfield, where someone wants to purchase that piece of property or have.
They want to know if we'll abandon the road. It's a road about 200 feet long. It divides the two properties that Mark Cerrone owns over there. And basically, I mean, he's running his machinery across the road as it is. I can't really tell him to load up a machine and take it across the street. There's no one that lives on that street. I mean, since they knocked all the houses down and everything. And I think what he do is like to make it one big property. There's two houses, I think, on the end of 103rd Street, which now they bring their kids out to Center Street and 103rd to pick up the bus. They would have to bring them over to Frontier Avenue and 102nd or have them walk down to that area. If they even have kids, I don't know. I think there's only two houses back in there.
What's your recommendation?
My recommendation is to give up the road. It's in pretty rough shape, and I mean, we can keep paving it, but like I said, it divides up as two areas where all this heavy machinery is.
Just, you're going to put this on your map. What would the town have to do or sell that piece of property? Maybe you guys take a ride.
Yeah, I'll have to, take a look and see if there's anything else we need to do, for a top of my head, that procedure. Research it.
You know, anybody can go over and see. It really doesn't benefit the town, we feel, anyway.
I mean, I can look into more about the abandoning part, but I want to make sure you guys would be even interested in doing it.
Anybody have any comments or thoughts about this?
sewer in that area? Is that what it is?
We do got water that runs down Center Street, yes.
They'd have to give us, an easement for all that. I mean, if they wanted it, I would make them do all the legal work and not cost the town anything. You know what I mean? If they wanna do it, then they should have, if we go through with this, make it their responsibility to take care of all that legal stuff.
You got, I would assume you'd wanna keep the water, because it's part of a loop,
Right.
Yes.
But you can have the property and just make sure that you have a right of way there.
And have a right away to fix it, exactly.
Store any old big equipment on top of it.
Yeah.
Rather than, take any action tonight, this letter I just got, but it's dated September, the town board would take a look over there, take a look at it, can't see any real benefits unless Keith's got there. I mean, if you get a chance, take a ride over and look at it. And then Matt, if you would just maybe research as to what we would have to do to abandon that piece, and then still keep the easement protecting the water off, any sewers up to it?
Yes, there is sewer there too.
There's sewer on it.
I do believe Paul is right in that, I have worked before to abandon property, typically, and to the benefit of something not to the town. We put, you know, we don't do any surveying, we don't have to do any, abstract, search work, we put all that expense on the individual requesting it, so, whatever we would do, legal work, survey, to do an easement, that would be part of the requirement we would put on the property.
Let's look at it. Maybe you have some more comments on the next meeting.
We need to have a public hearing to do this too?
I don't think so, you can, abandon property, I know you do for instance, park
Or we're
property.
actually giving the property away, right? Or no, we're gonna
Well,
maintain ownership?
it would be, it would almost be, I would probably suggest, abandonment, almost like a sale transaction, sort of. Not that there might not be a tremendous purchase price, because probably there's no, very little value to any other individual, but,
They would pay the costs.
they would have to pay the cost, and I think it would be abandonment transfer, because they would want title to it.
All right, let's look into it and we can get some comments at the next meeting. So take no action on it tonight. Also, he did get back to me for the, I already brought this up about the stop sign on Williams. And, they have told us at the medical complex that it is a private driveway and they will not put up a stop sign. However, they are going to contact the developer, ask if he wanted to put one up, and he could do it at his own cost, but DOT not put up a stop sign. And, American Legion has their celebration at 11 a.m. Saturday, and I believe it's going to be here unless the weather is, not suitable, and then they'll have it at the American Legion. Let's see what else we have. Paul's letter. I guess we already talked about it too, so we're good to go. And public input, anybody, Tom, you got anything?
Yes. Very quickly, tomorrow is our last veterans meeting. Even though it is a voting day, we have one of the side rooms already allocated, so we're good there. And then we will start the veterans meetings back up the third week in January. The Gold Star project is moving ahead, and the reason I bring that up is because I was trying to make arrangements for Kathy McFarland, who is one of the spearheads for the Gold Star Motors here in Niagara County, to come in and speak to the board on behalf of her program, what they do, give you a little bit of background. Kathy has had a run of bad luck right now. She is at Roswell, and she has also had a car accident in the last few weeks, which is now, not only is she dealing with Roswell, but she's now dealing with back and neck injuries. So, what I have done is I've contacted Holly Baker. Holly Baker is the representative for Gold Star Mothers in Erie County. They work very close together, the two girls, along with many other places in New York State. So Holly has offered to come and speak to the board. She can't do it this year anymore, which I would like to have gotten done.
She will come and speak sometime when it's appropriate, end of January through February, something in there. Holly's son was killed, his name was, his rank was Sergeant Brian Baker. He was part of the 10th Mountain Division, which many years ago was right here at the base, so we have a little relationship to the 10th Mountain, and then moved to Fort Dix. He was killed, KIA in Operation Enduring Freedom. So it's been a few years back, but mothers being as Gold Star mothers are, they never forget. They carry that with them for the rest of their life. Also, the veterans and the Marine Corps League will be at the town picnic this year. I made those arrangements with the committee and with Mike Zarbo. He has already accepted, and we will be there. So we will have a couple of tents, looking forward to the town picnic. And last, as I always do, I thank the board for your support for the veterans' efforts and everything you do for us, and there are many things that you do. As well, I was hoping Dave Godfrey was going to be here today, but through Jesse Booch, Dave Godfrey, and Becky Woodish, they have come up with what I consider a substantial gift towards the Gold Star Memorial that we're building. So I wanted to thank them. I will be sending out letters of thanks to them. And just like I said, I hope you gave it in here. Yes.
What is substantial?
$4,700. Which is a nice size gift. Other than that, I'm good.
Anybody have any comments? Thank you, John.
Okay.
Any public input? Next meeting is November 20th, 2023 at 7 o'clock. Except we are going to have a public hearing at 6:50, so starting at 6:50. Anybody have anything else? We have a motion to adjourn. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. We are adjourned. Thanks, guys. Thank you for coming.
There it is.
Building improvement meeting. I put it on the
Oh, I think it is. Yeah.
What we're gonna do with, they haven't got this far as the service.
See you guys later.